Aquas, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Aquas, y'all got the desert and the warrior, the creator, the eternal child, the prayer, and Eros. Aquas. I mean, the desert is the idea of like reaching out and touching something and it not really being there. And the warrior is just that like triggered energy. And it's like, mind your triggers. Like, who are you mad at and why right now? Because you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of feel like, who's the one who lives in the delusion? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the narrator. And that might be a little triggering to you. Well, because I feel like this irritation of like, well, that's when the story comes to life, is when the narrator like speaks. And it's like, how can you be a part of something that like triggers you? Like if you don't want to be a part of the story, then you can't show up. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like this, but like I want to be a part of the story because of like the way the story is told. And I only want to be a part of the story if the story is my story. And it's like, okay, but like also, are you willing to like to show up to be a part of the story? You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a you thing, right? Like that's not an anybody else thing. And again, I just feel this sense of being triggered because I think that whatever it is that you're wanting to do, there's a sense of, well, I'm trying to manifest this thing into my life, but like the very thing that I'm trying to manifest is the very thing that seems so elusive to me, and I'm having a really hard time understanding why. And it's just kind of like, well, I don't know, because I just feel like you're triggered by this energy of manifestation. You're triggered by the idea of it. Aquas, I love y'all. I really do. And for all of your like outside of the box thinking, sometimes you're some of the most like inside the box people. And I say that with love. I don't mean it as like a criticism, but I know that it feels like a criticism when I say that, and it's like, I hate that. Because all I'm trying to do is turn the light on so you can see where you're going. You know what I mean? Like, but when the light comes on and you can see where you're going, then you get really, it's like it freaks you out. And so like you run to the shadows and you say, I can't really touch the light. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like your energy. And maybe it's that there's been somebody who's been a representation of your energy, like narrating your energy back to you, and you being like, that's your energy, and you're chaotic, and you're unpredictable, and you're da 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 da, and you're emotionally imbalanced, and whatever other slew of insults that you had to throw. I just kind of feel like that Taylor Swift song, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. you know, because it's this energy of like, my person only breaks their favorite things. Well, I don't know, because now I just feel like this person that stepped outside of that energy. and that person just being like, well, you can tell how somebody feels about something by the way they react to it. I don't know, because if somebody experiences like a sincere hatred for another person, and hatred's a really powerful word, but if I don't like you, it probably feels like I hate you. Because if I don't like you, not only do I not need to be bothered by you, like if I don't like people, I'm just like not bothered, right? Like that, I'm not bothered by their opinion. I'm not bothered by their energy, or if I irritate them or not. I really couldn't give two fucks. You know what I mean? Because I like, because I'm indifferent to them as people. Like they're just they like bodies that exist in the background of a story that's existing. You know what I mean? And but if there's something about you that I actively don't like, then I'm going to actively dislike it. I'm not going to be quiet about not liking something. And I feel like maybe there's this idea of, well, I don't know. I don't know, because I do. I feel like this, like you're unpredictable and you're unstable and you're da 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 da. And it's like, well, I mean, if I'm reflecting back an energy that's being presented to me, I feel like the reality of that statement is that you're unpredictable and you're emotionally unstable. And I just bore witness to you. You didn't bear witness to me. Like, you've yet to see me. So, like, that makes your argument even weaker. Like, I just kind of feel like whatever these triggered year, da 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 da, I feel like it doesn't affect you, because it's not even like I don't even like you. Like, why do you think that I would care if you threw shade at me? Like, I think you're so ignorant with the shade that you do throw that it's like painfully easy to just respond to and not have an emotional reaction to it. But I never had an emotional reaction to you. I don't know you. I don't know your name. I don't know your purpose. I don't know your point. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and maybe that's the energy that you're in, Aquas. I think maybe you feel triggered because you're like, well, I don't know, but you want to know. But you also know that there was a reason you didn't want to know. And I think for a long time, that reason was because you put this energy on a person. You picked that person out. They were your scapegoat. And you treated them like your scapegoat. And I feel like that person being like, I mean, I know what you're doing right now, but I don't know. Like, I can't even, I can't even like you. Like you've made it impossible for me to even like you. But again, I just feel like it's like, I think that's how you feel about that person, because you're like, wow, you really tried to paint me out to be some dumb bitch. Like, you really thought you could just disrespect me and get away with it. And you thought you were going to let them disrespect me and you were going to force me to accept it. Like, you were going to be the enforcer of their ability to get away with some shit. Like, I just feel like whatever this energy is, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Really? You know what I mean? But I feel like this energy going two ways, and almost like this, like the veil being lifted, and like the mirror, like the person who is the mirror of the person who's like a nasty person, that was like the scapegoat. I feel like justified as fuck. You know what I mean? But like also like I don't want to, like I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, study not fucked with you. If study not fucked with you on purpose. I study kept my guard. I study kept my distance. And I feel like while you screamed at me about loyalty, I practiced loyalty. I don't know, maybe you guys you're fighting with somebody right now. I don't know, Aquas, because I get it. It's a political environment, and the political environment is a fucking shit show. And so I imagine you are very much existing in an energy of frustration and, like Boy Scouts best of positivity, you know, because you don't believe in existing in negativity. And I love that about you. But it feels like a joke. It feels like a joke to you. It feels like a joke to another person. I don't know. It feels like a joke because it's not coming from a place of sincerity. It's coming from a place of like forced duty, obligations that, like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know, Aquas. But I do think that there's something that you really actually want to create. I think that you desire to create it because I think to you signifies a sense of hope, of purpose. And I feel like you've sought your purpose in arenas in life that I think have left you feeling a little bit like a joke because, well, love, the system's a joke. And if you identify yourself through the system, inevitably you're going to feel that as an identity. But that's what happens when sheeple without critical thought and back it with emotional loyalties and no logic. The Three of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Well, this is the idea. The Three of Wands is a trip card, and the Knight of Cups is just kind of like a come this way. I know a lot of my aquas are avid travelers, and so it could be that you're going on a trip because there's something that you really want to create that you feel like, I don't know, maybe at one point in time it triggered you, the idea of whatever this is. I mean, obviously at one point in time it triggered you because like that was like a solid little run we went down there, like there was like, okay, what are we triggered by? Why does it feel like it's not real? I guess, like all the reasons previously said, but I think that again, like with anything in life, when you can acknowledge it for what it is, you can name it, you can tame it, and then you can no longer have that be a stumbling block in your life. And I feel like for a lot of my aquas, whatever stumbling block you were dealing with or facing, like it's being removed because instead of like the light being a trigger to you, I feel like the light like offers you an opportunity to really see what it is that you're creating in the energies with which in you that you exist in. because I feel like your energy is shifting and you're wanting to go in directions that I feel like you were triggered by previously, because I just kind of feel like you couldn't stand in the light. Aquas. The Empress. The King of Swords. Well, the King of Swords is always very Aquarian to me, because I just associate Aquarian energy with like a very stoic energy. You know, like you guys are just like, you're stoic. You have amazing posture. One, I don't even know. Like, I've just like always, you always have amazing posture. You're you're grounded in your energy, you know, like you, like there's something about you because you're a fixed sign, right? So like you just, I think you have a more naturally grounded energy, but you're grounded in your energy and you're heady. So you're like, you're different just by nature. And when you accept it for what it is and you embrace it, I feel like you have an opportunity to really step into your power. But I do think that in order to do that, there is something that you have to let go of. And whatever it is that you have to let go of, I'm just not sure if you're ready to let go of it yet or not. You know, I feel like that's kind of where you're like, I'm not sure that I really want to let that go. That's my identity. That's what I'm rooted in. That's what I, you know, that's what also leaves you feeling really triggered all the time. You know, but you know, again, obviously you're rooted in it. So it's, if, and you're fixed, and you know, like it doesn't matter if you're triggered, you're still going to do it anyways. You know what I mean? So, okay. But then I kind of get the feeling that like something happens where there is an end, but I almost feel like this end isn't of your own volition and kind of send you in a different direction, maybe send you on a trip. Maybe you were like, well, I had plans until those plans got canceled and now I'm free, so I'm going to go on this trip. And while you're on this trip, you realize that there are parts of yourself that you have been working on because you have been existing in that realm of positivity. Even though it may have been forced, you weren't going to let it go because you're too strong, because you're too set in abundance, and you always have been. Um, Aquas. Okay. The Knight of Cups again. Well, the Knight of Cups is a message. And it's funny, it fell out on the other Knight of Cups. Like this is what it looked like. But I do feel like this trip is backed with an energy of, I don't know. I mean, like the eternal child is curious. You know, like an eternal child, you always want to learn, you always want to know, you always want to uncover. Is there more? Can I do more? How can I do more? How can I grow? How can I, you know, like if I feel like I'm capped out here, you know, like how can I expand outside of that? And for a lot of my aquas, I do feel like saying, well, you're not going to be able to expand outside of that as long as you stay in that community. As long as you're in that identity, you're going to be locked in that energy. And if you're locked in that energy, that's going to be where your story resides. And so, you know, as a result, your story won't evolve past that, you know, and that's up to you. Whether or not you want to do that, that's up to you about whether or not that's what you're really seeking to manifest in your life, or if you really want to create something different. And I just kind of feel like nobody can make that decision for you, Aquas, and you know that. The King and the Apocalypse. Yeah, like nobody can make that decision for you. Like you have to make that decision. And I feel like that makes you uncomfortable a little bit and it triggers you. But I don't get the feeling that you have much of a choice to do anything with that trigger because, like, if you're the only one who can do anything about it and you're the one who's triggered by it, then you're stuck. Nobody else is. Nobody's coming to do anything about it. You chose to flip yourself upside down on the back of your turtle shell. You know, like you're the one who climbed up the side of the wall and flipped yourself over. Nobody else did that to you. So like that's on you, right? I don't know. I just kind of feel like this decision of like, do I want to exist in a triggered state over something that like doesn't have anything to do with me, doesn't have anything to do with the people that I love, doesn't have anything to do with the community that I exist in. Like, why do I feel the need to always have my energy out here and not bring it in where it's supposed to be, where it matters most? You know, I just feel like this bringing it in, bringing it in, bringing it in. And I love that. I love that, Aquas. If this does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.